Dating can be really complicated because not only are you trying to put your best self forward, but you're navigating the complexities of online dating, varying expectations. And it seems like today you have to be an expert in body language and deciphering text code just to understand whether or not the girl that you're pursuing is even interested in you. So in today's video, I want to help you guys out a bit and share with you 5 very clear signs that she's not interested in you, and you should absolutely pick up your fine butt and move on. Now, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kimberly Hill, and I'm a men's life, dating, and a relationship coach. Now, let's be honest. Sometimes it takes a woman a few dates to really get a sense of whether or not she likes the man in front of her. So I am certainly not suggesting that you rushed into this conclusion, but if you've been dating a woman and you've gone out a number of times, you will want to be aware of whether or not she is demonstrating these signs. Now, the first sign that she's not interested in you or she's stringing you along is demonstrated by the fact that she is not asking you questions about your wider life. If a girl likes you, she's going to want to know a lot about you. She's going to want to know your family history, the things that you enjoy. So if the woman that you're getting to know or pursuing doesn't really ask you questions about your wider life and doesn't want to get to know the things that you enjoy, even if she doesn't enjoy those things, then she's really not that into you. You see, the one thing that remains true for women is that we connect through conversation, and we crave emotional connection with men that we have feelings for. And the way we get to that point is by learning about this person and finding out whether or not we have commonalities and a sense of familiarity in certain areas. So if she accepts your offer to go to a fancy dinner, but doesn't really care about getting to know you, the true you, then she's really not that into you. And you should definitely find a woman who's going to dedicate the time and care and energy into understanding you as much as you are her. Now, the second sign that a woman is clearly not into you is that she struggles to show you affection, or she struggles to progress with physical touch over a number of dates. Now, things like physical touch, obviously, each person has a unique story. We all have differences in how comfortable we are with a new date. But if over a number of dates, she withdraws from you physically, or she doesn't want to graduate to even holding hands or having a kiss or getting cuddly with you, then she's clearly not that into you, and she certainly doesn't feel romantically inclined. And really, there is nothing you can do to change a woman's mind here, because she's either going to want to feel close and comfortable to you, or she is not. So if the woman you are dating just can't really get close to you, and she's not demonstrating affection, then move on and find a woman who is happy to cozy up to you. Now, thirdly, a woman who's not that into you is going to be really hard to nail down. It's going to be hard to organize spending time with. She might agree to go on a date with you, and she's probably the type of person that's then going to delay those dates or cancel them on short notice, or her availability is going to be so thin and narrow that you have to plan a date 2 weeks in advance. She's going to pencil you into her calendar. Well, the truth is, if a woman really likes a guy, she's going to want to spend time with him, and time is equal for all of us. So where we choose to spend it ultimately dictates what's important to us. So if she doesn't really have time for you, or she cancels on you last minute, it means she's really not that into you, and clearly she doesn't respect your time. So if this is happening to you, you're finding it's really difficult to wrangle this girl and get her out on a date, it's probably because she's just not that into you, and you should find a woman who is happy to make time in her life for a man like you. Now, the fourth sign that a woman isn't that into you, is wasting your time, is that she has actually blatantly told you at some point during your dating history that she's not really sure how she feels about you, or she says she's not really sure she's ready to be dating. Now, sometimes the most obvious signs are the ones that we ignore. So this is a sign that she's just not that into you. Now, for some reason, our society finds it really hard to be open and honest and vulnerable with our feelings in the beginning of the dating escapades. So she's really hesitant to open up emotionally to you, or she kind of continues to keep you around and tell you that she's not quite ready, or she's not really sure how she feels, and it's not your job to convince her otherwise. While I'm not saying that she should be ready to commit or marry you after a few dates, it's important that someone understands their own emotional state and can share with you whether or not they see this going somewhere or not. So if women out there are asking men to be more open and honest, then we need to hold these women accountable to the same standard of being able to communicate with clarity how they are feeling and what they are needing. It would be a lot easier if women just opened up and said, hey, I'm just not vibing it. I'm not feeling it. I don't think you're the right person for me, and cut things off versus strung men along. So if a woman is not really sure how she feels and all these other signs are happening as well, then understand that sometimes two people simply don't work out. Sometimes the timing just isn't right. And you should definitely move forward in your life and find a woman who really is on the same page as you. Now, the fifth sign that indicates a woman's not really into you and certainly isn't a place to be emotionally open is when she struggles to talk about herself, when she doesn't allow room for a natural or deeper emotional connection to develop. Now, maybe that's because she's had some trouble in relationships in the past. Or perhaps her family life didn't really mold her into a very trusting partner. But despite how attractive she might be, it's not your job to coach, to therapize, or to fix a woman so that she can be in a relationship with you. It's your job to be the best version of yourself so that you can attract healthy, emotional, available women to you. The last thing you want to do is spend weeks, if not months on end, trying to dig deeper into a woman's life and get her to open up. If she's not ready, she's not willing, it's not your job to try and go there. So she might be insanely attractive, and the temptation is, again, to kind of coax her along or help her get into a place where she might be ready for a relationship. But this is ultimately, guys, a losing strategy, because what you're doing here is you're creating a pattern of you being a fixer and her not having to own up and be responsible for her own life and her own emotions. So if you're noticing that a date is really struggling to open up to you, is not allowing a deep emotional connection to develop, then the real rule of thumb here, guys, is that if you don't feel you can show up as your natural self, she's not opening up to you, then it's likely she's not that into you, and it's certainly not the right relationship for you. Now, relationships, they do require a lot of hard work. They require effort. They require consistency. But if in the beginning of getting to know a woman, it's already feeling overwhelming, it's feeling complex, and you just don't know where you stand, it's a good sign that this isn't the right woman for you. Remember, you don't want to have a relationship or relationship problems with someone you're not even committed to. So if she doesn't want to get to know you, she isn't available for you, she's not feeling comfortable with you physically, she isn't ready to open up and have a deep connection, and she's even blatantly told you that she's not really sure about you, then take all these as signs that she's just not ready for a relationship with you. She's simply not that interested. All I want for you guys from watching this video is to make sure that you are not wasting your precious time and your energy and your good hearts and your kindness on a woman who is not ready to reciprocate that. While dating might feel complicated and might feel like you have to start this process over and over again, it is so important not to rush dating and really to take your time to find and create a relationship with a woman who values you, who values your time, who values your dreams, and who really wants to cuddle up next to you on the couch at night. So thanks very much for tuning into today's video. I hope you enjoyed today's content. If you did, drop a comment with your experiences, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this one.